Hello everyone. As you may have known, I didn't talk about this before, but me and my girlfriend had some issues with consent. So today I'm going to do a video to help you guys with consent. So today we're going to have 2 Rainbow High dolls, and I'm going to explain consent. Well, I should say actually they're Shadow High dolls. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. These are Shadow High dolls. So we're going to have 2 Shadow High dolls, and I'm going to explain how consent works with them. I'm not going to use American Girls because that would be creepy, and American Girls are not old enough to date. So we are not going to use American Girls for this situation, and I'm going to explain consent. And I'm trying not to make it too dirty. So let's say Ash and Nicole are dating. And let's say Ash grabs her hand. Now, at any point, if Nicole feels uncomfortable with her hand being held, she can say, Ash, you need to let go of my hand. And if she tells Ash to let go of her hand, he has to let go. And that is a part of consent. Now, it can get more physical where he could grab her boob. This is so awkward. Let's say he's grabbing her boob and she feels uncomfortable. She can say, Ash, stop. So she tells him to stop. He has to stop. That is consent. Even if she told him he could touch her boob, if she tells him he cannot, she feels uncomfortable and wants him to stop, he has to stop. And that is about as dirty as this is going to get. I'm sorry if that was awkward, but I'm trying to explain consent, and that is like one of the ways that I could figure out how to explain it without making it too dirty. Obviously they have clothes on, so it's not super dirty, but obviously if someone grabs your boob, even if you said it's okay at first, if you tell them no later on, they have to stop. So, yes. I'm not going to have him grab her skirt. I'm not going to do that because that's too dirty for this video. I'm trying to keep this kind of PG-13 here. But, honestly, that is what I'm trying to get across with consent. So, if he tries to, let's say he puts his hand on her leg. So he puts his hand on her leg, and she says at first, you can put your hand on my leg, that's fine. But then she feels uncomfortable and she says, Ash, stop. Take your hand off my leg. So then he has to take his hand off her leg because she didn't feel comfortable anymore. So, yeah, that's as far as this is gonna go. I'm sorry for laughing, but I'm trying to do this with dolls, because if I did it with people, it would be too weird, and if I did it with AGs, it would be too weird. So I'm doing it with Shadow High dolls to try to explain consent, because my girlfriend had a problem where she was touching me, and I told her no, and she didn't stop. So we had to get the police involved, so I'm trying to explain consent for other people so that they can understand consent, so it doesn't happen to other people. So that is what I'm trying to explain with the dolls. Because they are dolls, it's a little less creepy. So because these dolls are teenagers, it kind of is a little less creepy than if it was American Girls. So trying to make it a little less creepy by using teenage dolls, because these dolls are at least 15, so it's a little less creepy than using dolls that were like 8 to 12 years old. So yeah, because you don't want 8 to 12-year-olds doing that kind of thing, but you can understand teenagers, might want it to cop a feel kind of thing. But if she doesn't feel comfortable, she can say no, and he has to stop. Okay? If Nicole says no, Ash has to stop. And that's what I'm trying to get across. And that goes both ways. Let's say she wants to touch his chest. So She's touching his chest. He's fine with it at first. He says, "You can touch my abs. That's fine." But then he feels uncomfortable. "Nicole, I need you to stop. I feel uncomfortable." So then she has to stop. See, it works both ways. Like, let's say she puts her hand on his leg. And at first he's fine with it. He gives her permission to do it. And then he's like, "Nicole, you need to stop." So then she has to stop. Then she grabs his hand. And at first he's fine with it, but then he's uncomfortable. "Nicole, you need to stop." So then she stops holding his hand. So it works both ways too. Guys can say no if they feel uncomfortable too. So that's another thing I wanted to show with the dolls. That even if you're a male, you can feel uncomfortable and say no. So, yeah, I wanted to show that. So that's why I have both a girl and a guy to kind of show consent in that way. But it can be 2 girls and it can be 2 guys. I'm not judging. If you guys find this video helpful, make sure to share it with your friends. I'm trying to make it a little bit less... I'm trying not to make it too dirty. So they do have clothes on. And I'm not having them be, like, too rough with each other. Because, obviously, they're not, like, being super gropey. Because, you know, they're dolls. But I'm trying to make this PG, you know, sort of, like, you know, not super dirty, so that you can share it with even children if you need to. So I'm trying not to make this too dirty. So this is consent. This is how consent works. So that's how consent works. If somebody is touching you, even if you give them permission, you can say no if you feel uncomfortable and they have to stop. That's how consent works. So, yes. So this is Shadow High and consent. And I will see you next time. Bye now.